As Phase 2 Season of Discovery continues to rage on, it's clear that players are still enjoying this new take on Vanilla WoW. Yet, a few cracks have begun to show for the beloved game mode, with debates ongoing about the logistics of speedrunning or speed leveling, potential content droughts, and the main question of where on earth are we actually going with this thing. I think it's fair to say that Season of Discovery is still in its infancy in many ways, so it may be harsh to put any serious criticism on the game mode as of yet. And we have seen some great adaptations to Vanilla WoW so far, with new raids, additional runes, tweaks to classes that make the experience of Vanilla fit more into current day gaming, dealing with social issues such as server balancing and banning unfavourable aspects, to social raging such as GDKPs, and well, currently it seems that things are headed in the right direction. We've recently got a new blue post about Season of Discovery's future, reflecting some changes and some minor hints towards the end game. Yet there still overhangs an air of mystery for Season of Discovery, with regards to what is actually going to happen, with players being split from the recent announcement into groups that want to keep raiding to 10-man and groups that want 40-man raiding in Season of Discovery. And all of it does have an impact on what the long-term future for Classic WoW will be in many ways, due to Season of Discovery feeling like a test run for something bigger like a Classic Plus in the future. So, let's put our tinfoil hats on for the next 5 minutes and speculate on this recent update from Blizzard, alongside what the future for Season of Discovery could and maybe should hold. But just before we jump in, as always, feel free to like and subscribe if you're new here, as it helps me out a bunch. So thanks very much indeed. Now, let's get on with it. So diving into the new post we got first, we found out some details for current Phase 2 changes, alongside some hints towards Phase 3 and Phase 4. To start off, there's a welcome buff to leveling, increasing the 50% XP buff we originally got for levels 1 to 25 this phase, ramping up to 100% XP buff for levels 1 to 39, as well as increasing the gold rewards from quests through levels 1 to 39 to help build up some extra money during leveling, with some wording also noting that we currently seem to be in the midpoint of Phase 2. So Phase 3 actually isn't likely all that far away at this point either. The Classic team also noted how we're going to see some decent itemization changes at level 60 to ensure that content remains relevant, and some potential difficulty increases will also see greater rewards, with big revamps coming to items across many raids and dungeons. But to be honest, this still seemed a bit ambiguous even when I read it a couple of times, so we're still not quite sure what all of it means. And as noted briefly at the start, we will be getting another raid at level 50 in Phase 3, which honestly I think was quite obvious, but the change is that it will be a 20-man raid this time, not a 10-man. Now, this change has been welcomed by some and unwelcomed by others, who want to stick to 10-man raids the entire time, only to be further antagonized by the announcement of a 20-man Molten Core raid, which will be available at level 60. Further splitting players who only want 40-man raiding, despite the issues that do come with organising such raids, or again those who just want 10-man raiding in Season of Discovery, seemingly following the idea that you're always going to disappoint somebody with your decisions. And well, I'm a bit undecided on that as of yet for how I actually feel, as the post still does hint maybe we will be getting 40-man raids, or maybe not, they're just not entirely sure at this point. So the whole post was then summarised with a big, yep, we're not too sure what's happening either, and we know this causes anxiety, so apologies, kind regards, and we hope this email finds you well. And hey, I get it. Like I mentioned, Season of Discovery is still in its infancy in many ways, and this post to me had some good merits, but I do think these worries come from a good place. I really like Season of Discovery, and I think the team are working hard at it, and I want it to be good. So it seems like when we're potentially just heading for normal vanilla endgame content, and no one particularly knows where it's going, players are naturally going to start to worry that we'll see history repeating itself at a time when there is a prime opportunity to do something really special. For me, it's been proven that the Classic WoW team does have the ability to convert old vanilla content into new content that then feels updated but in place with the rest of the world, shown through both BFD, Nomeron, and the 2 new PvP events in Ashenvale and the Blood Moon. But as we draw closer to that level 60 cap, and we're still seeing the murmuring of they're not too sure what to do at Endgame, the same thing they said back at BlizzCon, I'm worried that some endgame content issues are going to start to come into play here. As noted, at level 50 we will be getting that 20-man raid, and at 60 we will get Molten Core available as a 20-man raid too. But outside of this, it seems that we don't actually know where we're going, which whilst exciting in some ways, can provide massive issues also. For example, if we just end up the culmination of all the excitement from Season of Discovery and goodwill that Blizzard has earned from it, seeing us just do the main normal raids at level 60, do you due to a lack of ambition or willingness to risk and try something new, in many ways, Season of Discovery will then fall a bit flat. 10-man raids have made sense in some ways due to being lower level. I think it was pretty neat that we were restricted to smaller teams without different options for a change, and I suppose it will be a nice progression to 20-man raids at level 50. And I know we still may have more to be confirmed on what's to come, but to me, hearing we get a 20-man Molten Core raid at 60 felt a bit, well, just a bit lackluster. I understand we will likely get more than this at 60, but we need some real excitement pumped into the future. What we need is something like a massive 40-man Scarlet Monastery raid promised. Or even just saying that there will be an unannounced raid at level 60 also. Now, yes, I understand the issue with organising 40-man raids, but come on. This is Season of Discovery we're talking about. Let's have something stupid thrown in. Or a promise of something bigger. Just saying 20-man raids are coming and it's old content doesn't feel too experimental, and just feels like we're kind of sleepwalking into normal endgame content from either vanilla or other types of WoW. I mean, if you're going to make mistakes, now is the time to make them. So let's get goofy big time here. The Scarlet Monastery raid has been demanded for a long time now, much like the demand for vanilla with changes that saw the creation of Season of Discovery. And as much as I'm enjoying the newly converted dungeons into raids like BFD and Nomeron, we need something truly epic and huge to end Season of Discovery on, or at least to be teased to us. We need big changes that work to finish Season of Discovery, mainly to prove to us that if Classic Plus does come about, it will be worth investing our time in for, as well as seeing new epic creations and big scale raids that we can sink our teeth into, all whilst feeling like we're still in the original world. Otherwise, we're just reverting back to playing the original vanilla raids. It's an overhanging question mark that in time we will get our answer to, and Blizzard is proving they can do it, but only on a smaller scale, with raids that some people just aren't that interested in. I quite enjoyed BFD, but that's because there weren't many other inspiring dungeons or content to be doing at level 25. And when we have all the wings of Scarlet Monastery available to us at the moment, I've noticed a far bigger trend now towards leveling alts and spamming Scarlet Monastery, rather than committing any alts to really raiding Nomeron, and it's a blessing and a curse of something that I mentioned before. Phase 2 has more longevity than Phase 1, as we have more general iconic vanilla WoW content available to us, but that also means if the new raid isn't entirely inspiring, there's a high chance it will get ignored. So maybe in some ways this supports the decision just to tease Molten Core at the moment, and it's a plus side that many people quite literally just enjoy vanilla content with class changes, and it's exciting enough to keep people engaged. But maybe I think that's being a bit too generous in some ways to the actual truth that the Phase 2 raid, whilst good, and I think Nomeron is a cool original dungeon and a good raid, is simply not more appealing than the other content available from Classic WoW. Personally, I'm still here to give this time. Our Season of Discovery is so new, but I also want to know what I'm investing my time into, and is it something that is going somewhere in the right direction? And to be fair, so far so good. So time will tell more on where we're headed soon enough, and I'm here for it. It's nice to be getting this current Phase 2 update alongside some reassurance from the Classic team that other content will be coming. But be sure to let me know what you thought of these changes in the comments, and what you hope for the future of Season of Discovery. As always, if you're new here, feel free to like and subscribe. And on that note, I think I'll say ta-ra for now, and I'll see you later.